Good evening, Oshkosh. I'm Mayor Lori Palmeri on behalf of the Oshkosh Common Council, City Manager Rohloff, and City staff. Welcome to the 2022 Oshkosh State of the City. Thank you for joining us in our virtual format once again this year to learn more about the exciting things that are going on in the city of Oshkosh. Oshkosh has proven through its resilience during the pandemic that it's a great place to live, work, play, and learn. We celebrate Oshkosh this evening, and we have an exciting program planned for you. The State of the City is more than just an annual event to showcase our activities, projects, and future goals. It's an opportunity for everyone to celebrate our collective efforts at the local government level. We're also highlighting what's yet to come. We recognize that everyone plays an important role in this process as citizens, community leaders, city employees, government officials, elected officials, and our most precious volunteers. In a moment, we'll hear from our Common Council members as they introduce some outstanding groups that have furthered city initiatives with significant efforts. The work of these groups will be profiled in the Community Partner Awards. We thank our council members for their hard work and dedication the past 12 months on behalf of the citizens of Oshkosh. And of course, we'd like to thank you, our friends and neighbors, for joining us tonight and for all that you add to Oshkosh's vitality. We continue to thank our healthcare workers who are getting us through this time. Together, we are a proud community. Without your participation and continued support, there would be no State of the City program. So it means a great deal to all of us that you chose to join us in this virtual format to be involved and take part in your community's exciting future. We have an exciting new element to include in this year's program. This year we have our community's first Poet Laureate, inspired by our National Youth Poet Laureate, Amanda Gorman's poem, The Hill We Climb, with a poem he composed for the State of the City program. You know, poetry carries us to the frontiers of our imaginations and help us to articulate a shared vision of our future. With his poem entitled A Collage of Oshkosh, here is Oshkosh Poet Laureate Tom Cannon.
Hello, my name is Tom Cannon. I am the inaugural Poet Laureate of Oshkosh. There are many things I want to do with my position, but I believe I can be of service by acting as a historian for Oshkosh in the way I describe my memories of living here, and by recording of how I see Oshkosh. And like the State of the City address, I want to remind as many people as I can how important this place we call home is. So I have written the following poem, A Collage of Oshkosh. Oshkosh, a collage of winter images, Christmas trees marking the road home on the frozen lake, shanties against a gray sky, red ice boats scratching blue, people zip-zooping in snow pants, gathering under tents on the ice for the fishery, just down from where a dark pool is cut into the ice, so people in coordinated costumes can hold hands and fling themselves into the frigid for the Special Olympics. Oshkosh, a collage of summer images. Boats burble as they dock at a downtown restaurant or at the Leach to listen to music. Perhaps they jostled fishing boats bobbing under a bridge or a family of ducks floating along the Fox River. A mix of seasoned citizens shopping for rutabagas with newly minted adults in sundresses waiting for bubble tea. The smile exchange between shopper and monk farmer, the best teacher of harmony. Local artists at the intersection draw an audience on white plastic chairs, while further down someone busts, an instrument, an open case, and patience. Oshkosh, a collage of the change seasons. Kids in distressed jeans and team jerseys posing for senior pictures against the battered wooden doors of the downtown alleys, or on the grassy square with an instrument or their team ball. Piles of belongings on a line waiting to ascend into the dorms. Down the street from the university, all ages stroll through the tulips and the art show of a mansion's garden. The Memorial Day March. Gray-haired men and women wave from Cadillac SUVs in the solemn procession down Algoma Boulevard. We stand, put our hands to our hearts out of respect for what we have and what others have lost. Oshkosh, diverse, in some ways divided, yet we have no shortage of bridges that can bring us together. After all, at times opposing views can both be true. It's probably what makes us strong. All of our kids deserve the best school, yet new isn't what makes ours good. And even as we complain about the roads narrowing, we find comfort that our own crosswalk is safer. Oshkosh, a city with what it needs, good companies to work for, skilled people to make them good, safe roads to bring us home, homes to give us a sense of ourselves while striving for better. Oshkosh, the city with its name on the trucks in the 4th of July parade. Oshkosh, a city of adaptive promises. The shore of the river, once dusted with prosperity, shines better with entertainment. Sawdust City gives way to Event City. Oshkosh, a city of wards with histories. You can tell which neighborhood by the types of homes lining the street. But I also believe that if you close your eyes, neighbor talking to neighbor sounds the same. We are one community growing stronger with concern for those on the opposite side of the street. Can Oshkosh become all of its promises? The answer is simple. If this small city can become the busiest airport in the world, we can do anything.
Thank you, Tom, for sharing that collage of what makes Oshkosh unique and special. We have a great program planned. In just a moment, City Manager Mark Rohloff will deliver his 2022 State of the City Address. Following his presentation, we'll take time to recognize some organizations with our Community Partner Awards for their work on projects that have had a significant positive impact on Oshkosh. Then, we'll honor several great citizen volunteers with our Citizen Service Awards for their ongoing efforts in serving on our various boards and commissions. We'll also be recognizing some others who have made contributions towards making Oshkosh a better place. On a final note, I want to stress again that for our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Please consider serving on a board or commission, and don't hesitate to talk to city staff, council members, or current board and commission members about how to get involved. Thank you again, and please enjoy tonight's State of the City program. I would now like to welcome City Manager Mark Rohloff for his State of the City address.
Thank you, Mayor Palmeri, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for this 2022 State of the City address. We're going to be visiting multiple locations around Oshkosh in today's presentation, starting out right here in downtown Oshkosh. The state of our city is strong in 2022. How do I know that? It's because we are committed to our strategic plan and to carrying it out every day, whether it's council providing the overall direction or our staff carrying out the duties and responsibilities they have. Our city strategic plan is the basis, and it helps build trust in local government and helps set a vision for our community. We've used a strategic planning process to understand the needs of the community and to guide important decisions that guide us every single day. But don't take it from me. Mike Bell is the CEO of Invisio. This is a company that works with communities throughout the country to develop strategic plans, and he knows the importance of them.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents of Oshkosh. My name is Mike Bell, and I'm a co-founder and CEO of Invisio. Invisio works with America's top-performing communities to help them develop and execute strategic plans, track and improve their performance against those plans, and transparently share results with all stakeholders. I recently authored an article in American City and County magazine that discussed the importance of long-term strategic planning. I spoke about emerging from the pandemic and looking beyond short-term acute crisis planning and towards longer-term strategic planning to improve the standard of living in our communities and in society at large. More than anything, long-term strategic planning is an exercise in trust building, predicated on 4 core activities that Oshkosh excels at. Firstly, it's about engaging the community in developing multi-year strategic plans. Secondly, it's about having a system in place for putting these plans into action. Thirdly, it's about informing key decisions with data. And finally, it's about having a regular communication process for communicating progress and performance with all stakeholders. With all of our work with local governments, we continue to be impressed with the accomplishment of city administrators at Oshkosh. They become a regional model for transparency and performance and deploy the latest in technology to gauge the needs of the community. They also have a growing history with strategic planning and execution that helps them stay focused on the future needs of the community. Despite the negative impact of COVID-19 pandemic, Oshkosh continues to follow best practices for continuous improvement. This work of building trust by being more transparent has significant benefits for Oshkosh. Transparency facilitates trusted, productive relationships between city officials, leadership teams, and residents. This trust is the foundation for progress and for bettering the lives of people in our communities. I applaud the work of city administrators in Oshkosh and look forward to continuing to help them strengthen the bonds of trust between the Oshkosh leadership team, mayor and council, and members of the Oshkosh community.
Thanks, Mike. Oshkosh's strategic plan is important for our community in so many ways. And we decided to start out today here in downtown Oshkosh to explore our plan and how it affects you and your everyday life. We're going to be looking at areas of economic development, infrastructure, quality of life, public safety, our neighborhoods, and the effectiveness of government. That's the core of our strategic plan. That's what we are guided by every single day. We're including your input as part of today's program. From the recent State of the City online survey we recently conducted, we're pleased that so many of you responded and gave us some great input and some feedback about things we're doing well and maybe not so well. So what we're going to do next is take a look at what's ahead, and we have some exciting things that we have planned for Oshkosh that we want to share with you today. We have a lot to look forward to in the area of economic development. I'm going to go over a few things that we're looking at around the community, and I'm going to start with the Oshkosh Avenue corridor, which is near the headquarters for Oshkosh Corporation. We have a lot of new developments that have sprung up as a result of everything going on in that area. Some of the things you're going to see, and these are all private developments, and we love working with our private sector partners, but we're going to have Town Place Suites that's going to be opening very soon. There's an office building, restaurant development that's going on there that we've already had some new businesses locate there and some other ones that are going to be coming in soon. And Fox Communities Credit Union, another financial institution that really wants to be in that area to be near the Interstate 41 corridor, as well as be a good convenient place for the community. We've got a lot of that going on along Oshkosh Avenue, so we're excited about the development prospects and the visibility that it provides for the community. So we're real happy about that. The other area that a lot of people don't really think much about because it's a little bit out of the way and sort of out of sight, out of mind type of thing, and that's our Southwest Industrial Park. Over the last 15 years, things have kind of gotten transformed in terms of our industrial parks. And one of the things that we've really taken advantage of is rail access. And we've got some great partners with Watco, which is the parent company of the Wisconsin and Southern Railroad. And they're partnering with us to first develop a transload facility that enables businesses to ship things via rail through this transload facility. And one of the things we want to make sure is we can attract tenants to that area. And that's where Watco's been working very closely with us. One of the things that we've gotten done is through a federal grant, we developed a new street called Compass Way. It's a circle road that can get trucks in and out of the transload facility very easily. You may not see it, but I'm telling you that it's something that has added a great feature for businesses. Even if they're not located in the Southwest Industrial Park, they can use that transload facility regardless of where they're at. And actually, they're attracting businesses from all over Northeast Wisconsin. We're the only publicly owned transload facility in the state, and it's a great way for businesses to move their products to market, and these days that's a very important thing. We're also busy on residential development. A lot of people are interested in housing, and so our 9th Avenue and 20th Avenue corridors are opening up, and we're trying to pursue other options in addition to those new housing options because we want to make housing more affordable. So any ways we can get people interested in some of our older areas of the city, some great values for people buying their first time home and making it more affordable to them. And you're going to hear more about that later on as well. Meanwhile, downtown on the south side, Boatworks, that's a residential development on the South Shore. That's near the old Geldwin site. We're excited to be working with the developer to bring residential development right to downtown Oshkosh. There is a demand for that. There is a certain element of the community that wants to be near our downtown. And with that said, a neighboring area, as we can see right here, is our Sawdust District and implementing our Sawdust Plan. We're working with a company called T-Wall Development based out of the Madison area on our South Shore area. That's just east of South Main Street and north of East 9th. So that's going to be a catalyst with the Pioneer Island development. I don't have any reports on that, sorry to tell you that this year, but we remain in contact with all of these folks to make sure that they're coordinating things. We've gotten a lot of comments from people that the Sawdust District is so important to what they feel is going to make downtown Oshkosh very vibrant. And the new development next to the river is going to be a place for people to live, to shop, and walk the expanded Riverwalk. And the Riverwalk extension is certainly something that we want to continue to be working on. We get so many comments about that. But we got comments not just about the Riverwalk, but also about all of the downtown. But we've also received some other suggestions about things we can do to help make downtown more vibrant. One of those comments suggested to close Main Street to vehicular traffic to create somewhat of a pedestrian mall. I think that's one of those ideas that warrants a discussion. I don't necessarily know if it's going to lead to closing Main Street, but I think if you take a look at other communities, it's a discussion that we need to have if we want to talk about making the downtown area a vibrant place for people to come and visit. And even if they only stay an hour or so, they're adding economic vitality to our downtown area, which I think is very important. I also want to talk about a recent project that our Convention and Visitors Bureau did. It was called a destination assessment, and that assessment evaluated on things that we could be doing better and maybe some new things we want to think about. And we're using that assessment to generate ideas about making the city more inviting. And we're also working with the Downtown Business Improvement District to create a pilot program where businesses can put flower pots in front of their stores, maybe some benches. It's all about beautifying, enhancing our downtown area. And I want to thank the Business Improvement District and the Convention and Visitors Bureau for their partnering with us to highlight downtown Oshkosh and encourage people to come visit it and see all that it has to offer. In terms of closing thoughts on economic development, as I've talked about, there are a variety of opportunities here for us. There's commercial opportunities, particularly in the downtown area and along the Oshkosh Avenue corridor. Industrial development, it's a little different these days because finding buildings is really a challenge, but we're working on industrial development with our partners at the Greater Oshkosh Economic Development Corporation. And then residential housing, particularly workforce housing, so our businesses can attract talent to the area. It's about making residential options available. And everybody has a different need or desire based on where they are in life or their careers. We want to make sure that we're doing those things. And then finally, the redevelopment, particularly here in the downtown area and along the riverfront. We need to keep working on redevelopment projects to revitalize and rejuvenate our downtown area. So I'm looking forward to a lot of those things in the coming year and look to partner with you as residents as well as our business community to make that all happen. To talk about infrastructure, we're here at the Oshkosh Water Filtration Plant, one of the important and often overlooked parts of our city's infrastructure. A lot of people aren't familiar with what goes on here because it's all done behind fencing and closed doors, but this is something that we all take for granted. We simply turn on our faucet and expect water to come out. The process that we do here makes sure that you don't have to worry about that. We will help deliver safe water to you that your family can enjoy. But there's more to it than just our water plant. Our infrastructure involves many roads, as you are aware of. And we have several road projects planned for this year, but we also know that much more remains to be done. And we've heard that from your comments. The public also wants a fair solution to special assessments. That's the way we fund a portion of our streets. And the public actually pays for that on the frontage of their property. We know that those costs have been going up in recent years, and we're looking for options. I know some people have said, well, we'll just put it on the tax roll, but we also need a fair solution that includes tax-exempt properties. So look forward to that in the coming year. We're also systematically working to repair streets as we can afford to do so. And the same is true about addressing our stormwater and other utility issues. We have to be able to afford what we do, and we can only do as much as we can afford. Other infrastructure issues continue to receive attention as well. I've gotten many unsolicited comments about lead water service pipe replacement. That's an ongoing process that we're working on, and we're pursuing grants for, because we know that any properties that are predated 1960 or earlier, that they have a chance that they have a lead pipe in their water service. And we want to make sure that you get safe water delivered to you, and that's one way we can do that. We also have some specific major infrastructure projects that are planned for 2022, and I want to talk about those a little bit. The one that's going to be probably the most visible is going to be Algoma Boulevard from Wisconsin to Congress Avenues. That's going right through the heart of UW-Oshkosh, and obviously that's going to affect a lot of people. We're going to, in advance, ask you for your indulgence as we work on this project, but at the end, I think you're going to love the final product, and we appreciate the cooperation of UW-Oshkosh in getting this project done. We also have a continuation of the relay of sanitary sewer on Oregon Street. This is actually year 5 of 6, with this year's installment going from Waukau Avenue to 35th Avenue. Another project is in relation to our Sawdust District in Pioneer Island, and that's actually giving a real extension of East 9th Avenue from South Main over to Pioneer Drive. That will close that portion of Pioneer Drive just east of South Main Street, but it'll be a very easy, reliable way to get to Pioneer Island in the Sawdust District, because all you'll have to do is take East 9th Avenue. One of our other projects that you may not think much about, but Rosalia Street is a relatively small local street, but it's very close to this water filtration plant, and it contains one of the largest water lines in the city. We need to get that water transmission line redone to, again, keep delivering safe water to you effective as possible. So you can take a look at all of these projects. We actually have a 10-year capital improvement program, and we do that so we can take advantage of grants that might be available over the time, as well as get ourselves planning and replanning every single year so that we're ready for these things. And you can look at the interactive map of all our capital projects on the city's website to see what streets are planned for construction in future years. Public facilities are also a big part of our infrastructure. And I kind of jokingly refer to staff that we're sort of the second child in the family, getting a lot of hand-me-downs. And we have taken on other buildings and reused them for very good purposes, but they've reached the end of their useful life. One example is our Parks Field Operations building. That's a building that we assumed from the Fox Valley Technical College in the 1950s, and it's well beyond its useful life. A new building will help make our staff much more efficient and able to better deliver services to maintain our park system. We also received some great comments from the public about what we should be doing with our new Lakeshore Park. And we're adding a 4-season shelter so that people can enjoy our parks year-round. So look forward to that construction going on in 2022. And while we're talking about infrastructure and buildings, we're right back here at the water filtration plant. One of the big issues that's going to be going on is a discussion about what we do with our clear wells. That is a large storage facility right here at the filtration plant, and it also helps water that can serve the treatment process right here. So it's very important, and I know there are some people who are passionate about not wanting the clear well tanks to be above ground, and we're looking at options to keep that in place, but at the same time we have to consider all our options and be good stewards of our funds. So we'll be making a decision on that in the coming year, so look forward to that. All of our capital projects are directly tied to our debt management, and we have a debt management plan through 2030, and the goal there is to reduce our outstanding debt, but really what it comes down to is we have to balance our needs for our facilities and infrastructure with our ability to pay. So just a few more things regarding infrastructure. Many of you are aware that we received $20.5 million from the federal government under the American Rescue Plan Act, known as ARPA. The council has directed staff to allocate 75% of all those funds, so roughly $15 million for infrastructure projects that are in our capital improvement program. And council will be directing us on that throughout the year. There's also a recent federal infrastructure bill that'll present us other opportunities, and we're going to be working on street projects in the coming year that may be eligible for those funds as well. These will continue to be important issues, and I encourage you to keep looking and seeing what we're going to be doing in that area as well. We received more than one comment that Oshkosh has a great deal to be proud of when it comes to our quality of life assets. We're here at the Oshkosh Public Library, specifically under the dome, one of our many quality of life assets. The dome itself is an iconic feature within our library, a place where people can grab a book, come and read, or one of the many programs that the library puts on, including entertainment and other programs that are very family oriented. But it doesn't matter whether it's here at the library or our public museum or our parks. We're going to continue to maintain, fund, and support our local treasures. But let me tell you why. Quality of life is an integral part of our economic development. When companies are recruiting people to come to Oshkosh and they go back home, one of the things that is truly an attractor for, it offers the city of Oshkosh real value, is that our quality of life assets are what attract families here to our community. So if you think that attracting people is really just about offering a job and a nice salary, it's much more than that. It's adding depth to the quality of life for families who may want to consider making the Oshkosh their home. One of the new assets we're looking forward to in 2022 is a new Four Seasons building at Lakeshore Park that will offer new opportunities for our community. We've heard great things about our park system and our other quality of life assets, and the Lakeshore Park Pavilion will be one of those things that we can continue to be proud of. We're also going to continue working on the river walks, specifically east of South Main Street, going towards Pioneer Island. The river walk is something that is another thing that attracts people to the area, makes their visitor experience very good, but it's also a great asset for you and me to enjoy, to walk along the river and enjoy the beauty that the river offers. When you're talking about quality of life assets, that's what makes Oshkosh a great place to raise a family. And we certainly want to continue to maintain and promote our many quality of life assets to demonstrate what a great community Oshkosh is. Public comments from our survey reflected a tone of positive opinions about our fire and police departments. The Oshkosh Fire Department right now is in the process of completing a training facility over on Sawyer Street that will enable them to be better prepared and efficient. That location will also serve as our new emergency operations center. And I think what we learned through the pandemic is that emergency preparedness is vitally important, regardless of the type of emergency. But I think through this whole process, we've become better able to respond to emergencies and be better prepared for them, whatever that emergency might be down the future. I want to thank our fire department, police department, and frankly, all of our city staff, as well as the community, for everything you've done to help cooperate through a very tense time. And I think we're going to be able to look forward and to doing other things in the future to help better prepare ourselves for emergencies. Back to the fire department. In the past year, our fire department achieved a public protection classification rating of 1 from the Insurance Service Organization, also known as ISO. I can tell you that that puts the Oshkosh Fire Department in the top 1% of fire departments nationwide. That has a benefit to demonstrate that you have great public safety, but it's also going to be reflected in your fire insurance rates. And I also want to thank our Public Works Department and our Water Division for the work that they did with our fire department, because water service for fire emergencies is a big part of that. So congratulations to everyone for this great recognition. The department also partners with the community for initiatives such as the Mugs for Rugs campaign, which helps prevent our residents from household falls. Household falls are the most common call for all of our EMS staff. So you can see that if we can do fall prevention, that'll prevent something from cascading into more medical problems once you have a fall. We know that once you have that first fall, it's going to get worse for you as time goes on. If we can prevent just a couple falls every month, we're going to do a lot to help not just the fire department with the volume of calls, but it's also going to make it safer for you. Here at the Oshkosh Police Department, steps are being taken to hire a social worker in partnership with Winnebago County to enhance the police department's ability to assist our residents in working through difficult situations that arise. Mental health is a serious issue in our community, and so I welcome that partnership so that we can continue to address the many complicated needs of our community, and mental health is just one of them, and our police department recognizes that. Along similar lines, we're happy to welcome our therapy dog Magic to our police department. Magic is already in place to help calm difficult situations and also provide much needed assistance to our own police officers who will address mental health issues of their own. And we're very happy to have Magic with us to help both the public as well as our officers deal with these difficult situations. Meanwhile, the Oshkosh Police Department continues to have both state and national accreditation. That shows we're taking steps to innovate and provide excellent service, and we're continuing to hold ourselves accountable and can demonstrate that through our very accreditation process that we use. Neighborhood policing remains an emphasis for our department, making sure that we stay in contact with our residents to hear what they have to say, to be more proactive in what they do, and we're very proud of that. We will continue to support our police and fire departments to enable them to provide excellent services. Because as you know, public safety is one of the largest uses of your tax dollars, and we want to make sure they're well spent. And they're going to be done dedicating with your safety in mind. So we do appreciate the support that you give our police and fire departments for all the great work they do for our community. In addition to our great residents, Oshkosh is blessed with some great neighborhoods. And one of our initiatives in 2022 is to conduct a housing study for the city. Now that this housing study is complete, we're going to be able to get direction on what we need to do to undertake as a community to find better housing solutions and make housing more affordable here in Oshkosh. We're also going to do a better job of informing the public on the many programs we have available for home rehabilitation. Maintaining and improving homes is going to be a huge part of that. In addition to that, the Common Council's also directed me to find solutions for homelessness in Oshkosh. And this is working with a lot of different agencies, and we're going to continue to work with our community partners to find answers. You may hear a term called continuum of care, and that continuum of care actually starts with homelessness prevention, finding ways to identify people that are at risk of homelessness and find ways to avoid being homeless in the first place. After that, finding acute facilities such as the day-by-day warming shelter, moving into transitional housing, things like the housing authority, and ultimately some housing independence where people can live and support their own housing needs through a job and through affordable housing for them. Meanwhile, we have some great neighborhoods, and a way to support our neighborhoods is to support our neighborhood associations. And we currently have 20 neighborhood associations that work to enhance our community. We're very fortunate to have a partner such as Oshkosh Healthy Neighborhoods, and they're working with us along with other people such as Habitat for Humanity and Day-by-Day Warming Shelter. But ultimately, affordable and accessible housing is the key. And we're going to continue to work with our neighborhood associations and all of our other community partners and the Common Council to make Oshkosh a place of choice for people to live. There's a lot to be said for that comment. We are working every day to find cost-effective ways to deliver services that matter to our residents. That's a constant improvement process that we are committed to. We find ways to work together with other governmental agencies for economies of scale and ways to deliver services better. For example, I mentioned earlier the program that we have with Winnebago County to provide a social worker to work with our police department. That's a new one. In the past, we are very proud of the fact that we provide emergency medical services through our fire department to most of our surrounding townships and go out as far as the city of Omro and the village of Winneconne. That's a way that we can deliver services that matter to residents of a much wider area, but also find a cost-effective way to do it. We're very proud of those things, and we want people to know about those because we're always looking for ways like that to better provide services. Communication with our residents is also important. We're proud of the work we've done, but it's an ongoing effort. And we know that everyone communicates differently and everybody receives communications differently. So we need to use a wide range of tools to reach everyone. We also need to make sure that we communicate our success. And as another way to reach out to residents, the City of Oshkosh has launched a dedicated City of Oshkosh Facebook page. In the past, we really relied on Oshkosh Media to be our de facto Facebook page. But we want to get a page that will be used to inform you on a range of topics. Everything from sanitation to upcoming meetings and everything in between. We hope you'll like our page and stay informed. We also need to let you know what goes on behind the scenes in local government. Our Employee of the Year recognition puts a spotlight on those who have served our community so well in carrying out their duties.
We're very proud of our staff members who independently noticed a problem within the water distribution system. A contractor boring for a utility company hit an 8-inch water service on the southwest side of Oshkosh. This resulted in significant water loss through the broken pipe and almost drained the water tower completely. One staff member, Cody Parker, was observing the construction of a sanitary sewer nearby and noticed the utility contractor having issues with water. The other staff member, Wendy Hamilton, was operating the water filtration plant and noticed the water levels in the nearby water tower rapidly dropping. Both of those staff members immediately contacted appropriate public works staff members, which started a rapid response to manage the situation. Through the actions of Cody, Wendy, and all who were involved, our community was spared from a greater crisis. We appreciate their professionalism and sense of urgency in responding to this situation.
Improvement is what our goal is. That's why we have a strategic plan to help us get there. A strategic plan gives us focus. It also allows council to give us guidance for how we want to achieve goals and what things we want to achieve that matter to you. It also gives us the ability to gauge our success in a measurable way. And in doing so, it helps keep us accountable. Thank you for hearing our plans for 2022 and how our strategic plan contributes to our success. The work we do is important because we all want Oshkosh to be a place that we love to come home to. We believe in it. And now, here's Mayor Palmeri for our Community Partnership Awards.
Thank you, Mark, for that presentation. And now for our awards. The Community Partnership Award is presented by the City of Oshkosh to an organization or individual who makes an outstanding contribution to advance the quality of life in Oshkosh. Tonight, we have 3 awards to present. To present the first one, I'm pleased to introduce Council members Mike Ford and Matt Mugerauer.
Food desert is a term you may not be familiar with. That would mean, hopefully, that you have access to fresh, healthy food options close to where you live. Unfortunately, before 2021, many people in our community who live near our central city area resided in what the USDA defined as a food desert. That is no longer the case, thanks in part to the Oshkosh Food Co-op. This member-owned, full-service grocery store helped address the challenge some folks in our community faced when trying to shop for fresh, locally grown goods close to home.
Through grassroots fundraising, public-private partnerships, and the buy-in of our community, the Oshkosh Food Co-op went from a startup to reality. This new option is the first of its kind in Northeast Wisconsin. Part of the co-op's mission is to build a community that's diverse, welcoming, and equitable to promote overall well-being within the greater Oshkosh community. Boasting more than 400 local products from more than 75 local suppliers, we can truly say the Oshkosh Food Co-op is part of who we are. Congratulations on being a recipient of the City of Oshkosh Community Partnership Award.
On behalf of the Oshkosh Food Co-op, our board members, and our 1,875 member owners, we want to say thank you to the City of Oshkosh for this award. The Oshkosh Food Co-op is a member-owned grocery store located right here in Oshkosh's Central City. And as you can see, we have a great selection of products right here in the downtown, and everyone is welcome to shop here. We were created to help strengthen the local food economy, promote health, and build community. And every time you shop, that's what you help do. So thank you to the city for your support, and thanks to all of our shoppers. If you haven't yet visited, we invite you to do so.
To present the second Community Partnership Award, I'm pleased to introduce Council members Lindsay Erickson and Aaron Wojciechowski.
The City of Oshkosh is proud to celebrate our growing relationship with the Menominee tribe. We recognize that the history of the Menominee people is part of our history in Oshkosh. Through collaboration and a shared desire for better communication and understanding of Menominee tribe's heritage, the city's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee worked diligently with the tribe to update signage located near the Chief of Oshkosh statue in Menominee Park. These updates better reflect the history of these lands. The Oshkosh Common Council unanimously approved this measure this past November.
In addition to this important work, the City of Oshkosh and the Menominee tribe have engaged in multiple projects to preserve and celebrate our shared history. This past June, the Oshkosh Public Museum hosted a powwow to celebrate the opening of the Menominee Clan Story exhibit, which features a collection of intricately carved figurines representing the 5 Menominee clans. Through an indigenous art form of the tribe, traditional Menominee artist James Frechette Jr. faithfully captured the cultural dimensions of the ancient clan system, depicting dress, symbols, tools, colors, traditions, and many details of the Menominee way of life. We are proud to present one of this year's Community Partnership Awards. Congratulations.
Waiwani Persian and Waiwani people of Oshkosh, apologize, I didn't get into the names. So just want to say we're very grateful and appreciative of this award. And so said a few things that I wanted to say on behalf of those who put in the time and the effort into making this day a reality. The Menominee tribe is happy that the 5 new plaques around the Chief Oshkosh statue will finally bring to public awareness the true story of Chief Oshkosh and his importance to our tribe. The plaque authors, Mr. David Greeno, Aqua, Mr. Arnold Chevalier, and Dr. Pascal Manning worked diligently in collaboration with Mr. Pershing Frechette and Mr. Douglas Cox, long-standing members of the Menominee Tribal Legislature, to ensure that the public will have the opportunity to learn the true history of the tribe and the true legacy left by Chief Oshkosh, both to the city and to the Menominee people.
Also, I stated earlier, I'd like to say that it's so important for proper representation. So while it was a struggle at times to get our point across at the City of Oshkosh hearings and meetings, the tribe never gave up hope that City of Oshkosh officials would approve the language we had endorsed. It is our hope that the Menominee tribe can continue our valued collaboration with the City of Oshkosh, and we are looking forward to celebrating the unveiling of the plaques together in the not too distant future. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask Pascal to step forward and present the award to Chair and Vice Chair.
And finally, to present the 3rd Community Partnership Award, I'm pleased to introduce Council members Courtney Hanson and Bill Miller.
For 2 decades, Celebration of Lights has been illuminating the city of Oshkosh from its home base at beautiful Menominee Park. The organization also brings to light the lives of so many in our community through its work with the Salvation Army and more than 10 other local nonprofit organizations. This year, Celebration of Lights collected hygiene products, toys for tots, and pet food for our local Humane Society, among other efforts. In all, more than 18,000 cars passed through the collection line. In December, TravelandLeisure.com named Celebration of Lights the best Christmas light display in the state of Wisconsin, noting their work with local nonprofits.
When an early season windstorm literally blew away the city of Fond du Lac's holiday light show, Celebration of Lights reached out to our neighbors to the south with a gracious offer. They were told anyone who brought proof of residence in Fond du Lac would be given free admission to Celebration of Lights, extending the joy we feel in Oshkosh to a nearby community. The city of Oshkosh is also proud to provide the holiday tunes you enjoy when you make your way through Menominee Park. Oshkosh FM, the city's community radio station, partners with Celebration of Lights every year to make sure festive tunes are available for the attendees. We are proud to present one of this year's Community Partnership Awards to Celebration of Lights. Accepting this award is Leon Thompson, aka Santa, along with his wife Wendy. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Leon Thompson. I am the current president of the board of the Celebration of Lights. This is my lovely wife, Wendy, and I've been the board president for the last 8 years. And we have tried to expand to make this a much better program than it was when I took it over. And I think we've achieved that goal. As I say, we started out with 3 53-foot semis and lights. Now we have 10, and they're all LED lights. So we've made quite a change there.
It's a lot of hard work, but it sure is worth it in the end. And thank you for this award. That is very much appreciated. We do a lot of hard work with a wonderful COL team, and we all work together and we have a lot of fun doing it, and it brings so much joy to our lives because we know that the community goes through and sees all these lights and displays, and it brings joy to them too. So our motto of bringing smiles to thousands shows through when those smiles are on people's faces as they go through the park.
And thank you again very much from the Celebration Lights to the City of Oshkosh for this very nice award.
Yes, thank you. We really appreciate it. We will pass it on to our team members too.
Now it's time to recognize citizens who have achieved significant milestones this year for their service on our boards and commissions. While we're spotlighting 10 people tonight, we'd like to thank all citizens who serve on the city's boards and commissions. Whether you're dedicated your time for 1 year, 2 years, or 20 years, what you do is truly appreciated and helps our council to make better decisions. Without them, we could not do our job, so again, thank you. Those who receive awards this year will each receive an award plaque that they may pick up from City Manager's office at City Hall. And here are our Citizen Service Award recipients this year. Reaching their 5-year milestone are, from the Advisory Park Board, Anthony Dirth. From the Plan Commission, John Kiefer. And from the Public Arts and Beautification Committee, Carlene Christensen and Kobe Scallanchar. Reaching their 10-year milestone, from the Bid Board, Chris Larson. From the Board of Review, Catherine Osborne. From the Board of Zoning Appeals, Catherine Larson. From the Redevelopment Authority, Jason Lasky. From the Stormwater Utility Board, Kyle Clark. And finally reaching their 15-year milestone, from the Landmarks Commission, Dennis Arnold. We're always looking for more members of the community to get involved on our boards and commissions. If anyone is watching interested in joining a board or commission, you can just visit the city's website and apply. Look for onboarding boards and commissions on the City of Oshkosh website. Now I would like to introduce Vicki Redlin and Margie Davey of Oshkosh Rotary Southwest to present a pair of Environmental Leadership Awards this year. We begin with Vicki Redlin.
The Fox Wolf Watershed Alliance works to protect and restore the water resources of Wisconsin's Fox Wolf River Basin. To accomplish the mission, the organization has 2 regional recovery efforts: Keepers of the Fox, the Lower Fox River Watershed, and the Winnebago Waterways Program. Additionally, Fox Wolf has several focused recovery initiatives, including aquatic invasive species prevention, trash-free waters, stormwater education, and agricultural conservation. Due to the geographic scope of the organization, a large amount of these efforts take place in the City of Oshkosh. The Alliance has numerous programs and projects taking place throughout the region that lead the way for protecting and enhancing the watershed for future generations. I'm proud to present an Environmental Leadership Award to the Fox Wolf Watershed Alliance.
My name is Corinne Deering, and I'm the Winnebago Waterways Program Director at Fox Wolf Watershed Alliance.
I'm Kelly Ryer. I am the Volunteer and Member Coordinator at Fox Wolf Watershed Alliance.
We want to thank the Oshkosh Southwest Rotary and the City of Oshkosh Sustainability Advisory Board for this award. We are honored that our work protecting local water resources is being recognized. Our work is not possible without our strong partners, including the Oshkosh Southwest Rotary and the City of Oshkosh, as well as our funders and dedicated volunteers.
Speaking of volunteers, our largest volunteer event is our annual Fox Wolf Watershed Cleanup event. I have to note that in 2021, including all the communities that took part in the cleanup, the City of Oshkosh had the most volunteers. If you're interested in getting a hands-on approach to cleaning up our waterways, join us for our 2022 Fox Wolf Watershed Cleanup taking place on Saturday, May 7th. There are 8 locations throughout the City of Oshkosh. We hope you can join us.
In the 1980s, Jan became interested in environmental issues. From then until her death in June 2021, Jan served in various positions on boards of the Citizens National Resources Association of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Conservation Hall of Fame, the Winnebago Audubon Society, the Horicon Marsh Area Coalition, Sullivan's Woods, and the Sheldon Nature Area. In 2007, she helped found the Winnebago Lakes Council and wrote and published their newsletter for several years. She worked on the League of Women Voters Study Committee analyzing Oshkosh City parks, which eventually made recommendations to increase park area to provide adequate recreational space for residents. One of the original members of the Oshkosh Sustainability Advisory Board, Jan served 10 years and was instrumental in writing the sustainability plan adopted by the City Council in 2012, compiling and writing 4 of its 10 chapters and editing the rest. She also provided seed money for a Build Your Own Rain Barrel workshop that continues to this day. Jan Scalpone spent over 60 years contributing to bettering the lives of women and more than 30 years working to save the planet. This is what leadership is about. I'm pleased to honor Jan with an Environmental Leadership Award.
My name is Mary Scalpone, and I am Jan Scalpone's daughter. I want to thank you, Margie Davey, for nominating my mother for this award. Janet found great healing in nature, and especially being near the water, and she wanted to use her skills to benefit environmental causes. I'm sure Jan would want to share this award with the many friends and committee members and environmental activists who worked alongside her. They motivated and inspired each other with their friendship, hard work, and love of nature. Of course, I wish Jan could be here to accept this award. I hope she is watching from some bench near the water, or maybe she's already on another committee. I thank you and accept this award on behalf of Jan.
Thank you. We appreciate this example for all of us who want to improve our city and the lives of its residents. Next, I'd like to honor Oshkosh neighborhoods. Neighborhood associations continue to grow in Oshkosh as people acknowledge the benefits of knowing and working with their neighbors. Neighborhood associations help foster a spirit of community by connecting residents to collaborate in strengthening the neighborhood that they call home. I'm pleased to recognize the Bentwoods Neighborhood Association as the newest neighborhood association in Oshkosh. Your work with the city and Oshkosh Healthy Neighborhoods in pursuit of creating healthy neighborhoods of choice in our community is invaluable. We look forward to a future of continued cooperation and success. That concludes our 2022 State of the City Address and Awards presentation. Thank you again to everyone who helped make tonight possible. All those people who were kind enough to provide us with some comments for the presentation, and especially to you for joining us for this virtual event. As we leave you this evening, I'd like to leave you with this excerpt from Amanda Gorman's poem, The Hill We Climb. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Thank you and good evening.